The bustling conference hall buzzed with anticipation and a touch of anxiety. The room was filled with diplomats, scientists, and military personnel, all waiting for the historic moment to unfold. Jack Turner, a tall man with a stern yet calm demeanor, stood at the forefront, adjusting the microphone. Beside him, Dr. Lisa Hammond, the lead scientist in the Extraterrestrial Communication Project, shuffled her notes nervously. "Are we sure the translators will hold up?" Jack whispered, leaning towards Lisa. "They've been tested under every scenario we could simulate," she replied, her voice a mix of confidence and hope. The large screen at the end of the room flickered and then stabilized, revealing the silhouetted figures of the Krillians. Their forms were slender, taller than the average human, with elongated limbs that added to their imposing presence. "Greetings from Earth," Jack began, his voice echoing through the hall. "I'm Jack Turner, and we come in peace." There was a brief pause before the Krillian ambassador's voice came through the speakers, a deep, melodic tone that resonated oddly with the translation software. "And greetings to you, Jack Turner of Earth. I am Ambassador Zero. We have long observed your world. Your progress is commendable." Jack nodded, sensing the room relax slightly at the ambassador's peaceful demeanor. "We are honored by your visit and hope to learn from each other, fostering a relationship built on mutual respect." "A noble goal," Zero responded. "However, your world harbors factions that oppose such contact. How do you plan to manage this dissent?" Jack didn't flinch. "Like any diverse society, we have varying opinions, but I assure you the majority of Earth's inhabitants are committed to peaceful and constructive dialogue." Suddenly, a shout erupted from the back of the room. A man in civilian clothes had stood up, his face red with anger. "We don't need to be mingling with aliens. How do we know their intentions are as peaceful as they say?" Security quickly moved towards the disruptor, but Jack raised his hand, signaling them to stop. He addressed the man directly. "Sir, it's natural to fear the unknown. But think of what we stand to gain. New technologies, medical advances, understanding more about the universe. We can't let fear hold us back." The man looked defiant, but others in the room nodded and murmured their agreement with Jack. Ambassador Zero's voice once again filled the room. "Fear of the unknown is a common trait among many intelligent species. We too had our doubts and fears, but we have learned that together we can overcome greater challenges." Jack smiled slightly. "Exactly. We seek only to share knowledge and live in harmony. Our invitation to Earth stands as a testament to our desire for peace and cooperation." Lisa leaned in, whispering, "Well handled, Jack." As the meeting concluded, the screen fading to black, applause broke out among the crowd. Jack felt a weight lift off his shoulders, though he knew this was just the beginning. Walking off the stage, he turned to Lisa. "That went better than expected, don't you think?" "Definitely," she agreed. "But it's just the first step. There's much more to do." Jack nodded, looking back at the now empty screen. "And we'll be ready for it." As the room cleared, the gravity of what had just happened began to settle in. Earth was no longer alone in the universe, and Jack Turner was at the heart of this new chapter for humanity. Jack Turner's first steps onto the planet Vestro were cautious, his eyes wide as he took in the sprawling complex of the Galactic Assembly. Towering structures of glass and metal pierced the sky, their surfaces reflecting the bright twin suns of the system. Beside him, Lisa Hammond, still marveling at their surroundings, leaned in to comment. "It's like something out of a science fiction novel, isn't it?" "Only now, it's science fact," Jack replied, adjusting the collar of his formal uniform. They were greeted by an assembly liaison, a Tolvian named Garu, whose skin shimmered like the surface of a pond. "Welcome, Earth delegates. I'm here to escort you to the council chamber. Please, follow me." As they walked, Jack observed the myriad species moving through the complex. Some floated by without touching the ground. Others conversed in languages that the translator in Jack's ear struggled to keep up with. Garu noticed his fascination. "It is overwhelming at first, but you will acclimate quickly, Jack Turner." "I hope so," Jack muttered, still trying to process the diversity around him. Upon entering the council chamber, a large circular room with seats arranged in an ascending spiral, Jack felt every eye on him. He found his designated seat, marked with a small flag of Earth. The meeting began with an address by the council president, a dignified figure with plumage that rivaled any bird of paradise Jack had ever seen on Earth. "Today, we welcome a new member to our assembly, representing the planet Earth. Let us extend our warmest greetings," the president announced, prompting a chorus of varied sounds that Jack assumed were applause. Jack stood, feeling the weight of countless eyes upon him. "Thank you, President Kale. It is an honor to be here. Earth looks forward to contributing to and learning from this great assembly." As he sat, a delegate from a neighboring planet, Zorax, leaned over. "Earth is quite the curiosity, Jack Turner. Not many species are invited to join us so quickly." "We understand the rarity of this opportunity and don't take it lightly," Jack replied, trying to sound as diplomatic as possible. The discussions that followed ranged from trade agreements to environmental initiatives. Jack listened intently, interjecting when Earth's interests were involved and taking notes on potential technologies that could benefit his home planet. As the session drew to a close, the topic shifted to integrancy, the process of integrating new members into the assembly. A Zoraxian delegate raised a concern. While Earth has shown great promise, the integrancy of such a diverse and politically fragmented planet raises concerns. How will Earth manage its internal conflicts and represent a unified stance here? Jack acknowledged the question with a nod. Earth is indeed diverse, and yes, we have our conflicts. But diversity breeds innovation, and our commitment to unity is strong. We are here to learn and grow with the Assembly's guidance. After the meeting, as the delegates dispersed, Garu approached Jack. "Well spoken today. Your words give us hope that Earth will be a valuable member of our community." "Thank you, Garu. I believe Earth has much to offer and much to gain," Jack said, feeling a mix of pride and responsibility. He knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but for the first time he felt truly hopeful about humanity's place among the stars. As he and Lisa exited the chamber, they shared a look of determination. This was just the beginning of Earth's journey in the interstellar community. The harsh winds of Deshto whipped around Jack as he stood at the entrance of the arena, a massive structure carved from the planet's dense, gray stone. The air was thin, adding an extra layer of difficulty to what was already expected to be a grueling ordeal. Lisa, wrapped in a thermal coat, checked her datapad. "The atmospheric readings are off the charts, Jack. You sure about this?" Jack tightened the straps on his protective gear. "It's the only way to gain their respect quickly. We need this alliance." As they approached the gates, a towering figure, the arena master, greeted them. His voice boomed through the translator device. "Jack Turner of Earth, welcome to the Pain Games. Your participation is a testament to your courage." "Or my insanity," Jack muttered under his breath, earning a worried glance from Lisa. The gates swung open, revealing a circular arena surrounded by towering stands filled with spectators from across the galaxy. The crowd was a cacophony of roars, clicks, and whistles. Jack entered the arena, feeling the eyes of thousands upon him. The first challenge was immediately in front of him: the Gauntlet of Garsu. It was a series of physical obstacles designed to test endurance and strength to their limits. As Jack began the obstacle course, climbing walls slick with moisture and leaping over pits that emitted steamy vapors, the crowd seemed to hold its breath. Each movement was agonizing in the thin air, his muscles burning with the effort. Lisa watched anxiously from the stands, her hands clenched. She kept track of Jack's vitals on her datapad, ready to signal for medical intervention at any sign of true danger. Halfway through the gauntlet, Jack faced a new challenge: the path of pain. A narrow beam suspended over a field of electrical currents. One misstep would send a painful shock through his body. With precise movements, Jack navigated the beam. A slip caused his hand to brush against the barrier, sending a jolt that made him wince, but he pushed forward, determined not to show weakness. The crowd's response shifted from skepticism to something akin to respect. Murmurs filled the air, the alien spectators visibly impressed with the human's tolerance for pain and determination. As Jack completed the final challenge, collapsing across the finish line, the arena erupted in cheers and shouts. The arena master approached, helping Jack to his feet. "Jack Turner, your performance has spoken volumes. You have endured what many could not." Breathing heavily, Jack managed to smile. "Glad to hear it. Hopefully it proves Earth's worth to the Assembly." "It does more than that," the arena master declared, turning to address the crowd. "Let this day show that humanity possesses not only physical resilience but a spirit that compels respect." Lisa rushed to Jack's side as the medical team arrived, checking him over. "You did it, Jack. You really did it." As they exited the arena, Jack, supported by Lisa, looked back at the stands still filled with buzzing spectators. "Let's hope this opens the right doors for us, Lisa." "It will," Lisa assured him, her expression one of pride. You've shown them what humans are capable of. As they walked towards the recovery area, Jack felt a mix of pain and pride. He had faced the pain games and emerged victorious, a crucial step in securing Earth's place in the galactic community. After the pain games, Jack and Lisa returned to the planet Vestro, where news of Jack's remarkable performance had traveled fast. Their return was met with a new level of respect and curiosity from the other species. Jack, still nursing some soreness, was summoned to a special session of the Galactic Assembly. He entered the Grand Chamber with Lisa by his side, feeling a mix of anticipation and nervousness. The stakes were high, and the outcome of this meeting could set the course for Earth's future relations in the galaxy. As they took their seats, a Meurithian delegate, a species known for their strategic alliances, approached them. "Jack Turner, your endurance in the pain games has impressed many. We believe this might be the opportune time to discuss a potential alliance." Jack nodded, pleased yet cautious. "I'm honored. Earth is keen to foster strong and peaceful relations." The delegate smiled, revealing a row of sharp teeth. "As are we. Let us find common ground." The session was called to order, and one by one, delegates from various planets expressed their interest in forming ties with Earth. The discussion focused on trade, technology exchange, and mutual defense. Jack, feeling the weight of each word, advocated for Earth's potential as a partner, emphasizing mutual benefits and respect for each civilization's sovereignty. During a recess, Lisa leaned over to Jack. "This is going better than I expected. Your gamble paid off." "It's not over yet," Jack replied, scanning the room for any signs of dissent. When the session resumed, a delegate from the Zoraxian bloc raised a concern. "While we recognize Earth's emerging role, we must ensure that this alliance does not upset the balance of power. How does Earth intend to contribute to the galactic defense grid?" Jack was prepared for this. "Earth may be new to interstellar politics, but we bring unique resources and strategic positioning. We propose sharing our advancements in renewable energy and water purification technologies, which could benefit many on this council." The proposal sparked interest among the Assembly members, especially from planets struggling with environmental challenges. Discussions went on, with Jack and Lisa negotiating terms, clarifying details, and reassuring their commitment to the Alliance's goals. As the meeting drew to a close, the President of the Assembly took the floor. "It appears we have reached a consensus. Let us welcome Earth into our fold with a spirit of cooperation and hope for a prosperous future together." The chamber erupted in applause, a sound that filled Jack with relief and pride. He stood, addressing the Assembly. "Thank you, President Kale, and all respected delegates. Earth looks forward to a bright future among the stars, learning from each of you and contributing to our shared destiny." As the delegates mingled after the session, Garu approached Jack and Lisa, a smile on his shimmering face. "Well done, Earthlings. You have navigated this with admirable diplomacy." Jack thanked him, feeling a moment of respite amidst the political whirlwind. "We had good guidance from friends like you." With the alliance formally established, Jack and Lisa stepped out of the chamber into the corridors of the Galactic Assembly, their path lit by the soft glow of Vestro's twin suns streaming through the atrium. The future was uncertain, but for now, Earth had secured a place at the table, and Jack felt ready for whatever challenges might come next. In the aftermath of the alliance formation, Jack and Lisa returned to Earth to oversee the implementation of the newly agreed-upon treaties. The planet buzzed with excitement and a sense of accomplishment, but Jack couldn't shake a lingering feeling of unease. While reviewing security protocols with Earth's Defense Council, an urgent message arrived from an anonymous source. The message was cryptic, hinting at a hidden agenda among some of the Alliance members. Jack's instinct told him something was off. "Lisa, take a look at this," he said, handing over the tablet. Her brow furrowed as she read the message. "This could be a hoax, Jack," she suggested. "Or someone trying to warn us," Jack countered, his voice tense. "We need to get back to Vestro and confront this head-on." Arriving back on Vestro, the atmosphere felt different. The usual bustling corridors of the Galactic Assembly were eerily quiet. As Jack and Lisa made their way to the council chambers, they noticed fewer delegates around than usual. Upon entering the chambers, they were greeted not with warm welcomes, but with cold stares. The President of the Assembly, President Kale, approached with a solemn expression. "Jack Turner, disturbing allegations have come to our attention," Kale announced. "There are claims that Earth has been secretly amassing weapons in violation of the Alliance's peace treaties." Jack was stunned. "That's impossible. We've been fully transparent with our operations. Someone is trying to frame us. Despite his protests, the evidence presented was damning. Images, documents, fabricated, Jack was sure, but convincing enough to cast doubt among the assembly members. Feeling the tide turning against him, Jack realized they were being set up. The session ended with Earth's status in the Alliance suspended, pending further investigation. Dejected and worried, Jack and Lisa returned to their quarters to strategize. They were interrupted by an alert on the compound's security system, an assassination attempt thwarted by their security detail. "This is serious, Jack. Someone doesn't just want Earth out of the Alliance. They want you out of the picture," Lisa said, her voice shaking. Jack's resolve hardened. "We need to find out who's behind this and why. Our survival in the Alliance might depend on it." Their investigation led them to a trail of transactions that pointed to a lesser-known species, the Nolarii, who had joined the assembly around the same time as Earth. Digging deeper, they uncovered evidence of the Nolarii's secret dealings with a rogue faction from Zorax, aimed at destabilizing the Alliance to shift the power balance. Armed with the truth, Jack and Lisa planned to expose the conspiracy at the next assembly meeting. However, the night before the meeting, their quarters were breached. In a fierce confrontation, they managed to subdue their attackers, members of the Nolarii security force. The following day, with the evidence compiled and their attackers in custody, Jack presented his case to the assembly. The room was tense, the air thick with anticipation as Jack laid out the conspiracy, supported by undeniable proof. After a long silence, President Kale stood. "Earth has faced great injustice. We owe you an apology, Jack Turner. Your determination to uncover the truth has saved the Alliance from potential ruin." As the Assembly voted to restore Earth's status and initiate proceedings against the Nolarii and their accomplices, Jack felt a mix of relief and wariness. They had won this battle, but the incident had exposed vulnerabilities that could no longer be ignored. Leaving the council chamber, Jack looked to Lisa. "Let's go home. We have a lot of work to do." As they boarded their ship bound for Earth, Jack knew this was only the beginning. Trust had been damaged, and rebuilding it would be another challenge altogether. Back on Earth, the atmosphere was tense. Jack and Lisa arrived to find the planet on high alert. The defense systems, newly integrated with alien technologies, scanned the skies with relentless precision. "Jack, we've got multiple unidentified objects approaching from the outer sector," reported General Carter, Earth's military defense chief, as they entered the command center. "Let's see them," Jack said, his voice firm. The screen flickered to life, showing a cluster of spacecraft moving in a tight formation towards Earth. Their designs were unfamiliar, sleek, and menacing. "It's not just the Nolarii. These ships don't match any known configurations from the Alliance database," Lisa observed, analyzing the data streaming in. Jack's mind raced. "They must be part of the rogue faction from Zorax. We need to engage them before they reach the atmosphere." General Carter nodded, issuing commands to the defense units. "All squadrons prepare for engagement. This is not a drill." Jack watched as Earth's forces mobilized. Fighter jets, enhanced with hybrid technology, soared into the sky, meeting the alien ships with a barrage of energy pulses. The battle was fierce. Explosions dotted the sky as both sides exchanged fire. Jack felt every loss acutely, each burst of light marking the fall of another defender. As the alien ships breached the outer defense layer, Jack realized they needed a new strategy. "Carter, redirect the ground lasers to create a barrier. Use the ion disruptors to throw them off." "Executing now," Carter replied, his fingers moving swiftly over the controls. The strategy worked, disorienting the alien ships and slowing their advance. This gave Jack a moment to think. He turned to Lisa. "We need to send a distress signal to the Galactic Assembly. Let them know we are under attack." Lisa nodded, working quickly to encode the message. Within minutes, the signal was sent, echoing across the galaxy, a plea for aid. Back in the battle, Earth's forces gained momentum, pushing the invaders back. Just as hope was beginning to flicker, reinforcements arrived. Ships bearing the emblems of several Alliance members, led by a large cruiser from the Merithian fleet. The tide turned decisively. With the help of the Alliance, Earth's defenders pushed the rogue faction back, driving them out of the orbital space. After hours of relentless conflict, the skies finally cleared. The rogue ships retreated, disappearing into the depths of space. In the aftermath, Jack stood amidst the ruins of the command center, looking out at a sky that was once again calm. The cost had been high, but Earth had held its ground. President Kale appeared on the communication screen, his expression solemn. "Jack, the Council owes you a debt of gratitude. Your signal was received, and it was our duty to assist. The Assembly will not forget Earth's resolve today." Jack nodded, feeling the weight of the day's events. "Thank you, President Kale. We appreciate the support, and we hope this will strengthen our bonds within the Alliance." As the cleanup began, Jack and Lisa walked through the devastated areas, seeing the damage but also the resilience of their people. They assisted where they could, helping to coordinate relief efforts and support the injured. Looking up at the stars, Jack felt a mixture of exhaustion and determination. "We've won today, Lisa, but this won't be the last challenge. We need to be better prepared." Lisa placed a hand on his shoulder. "We will be, Jack. Together, we'll make sure of it." As they turned to join the ongoing efforts, the reality of their situation was clear. Earth had survived a significant trial, and while the future was uncertain, their spirit remained unbroken. Jack surveyed the city from atop a once bustling building now partially destroyed. Below, crews worked tirelessly to clear rubble and restore essential services. The city, a symbol of Earth's resilience, had paid a heavy price in the battle. "Commander Turner, the latest reports are in," said Lieutenant Green, approaching him with a tablet in hand. "We've got most of the city's power grid back online, but the water supply is still compromised in several districts." Jack nodded, scanning the data. "Prioritize the water supply. We need to prevent any public health crises." As they walked through the city, the damage was palpable. Buildings bore the scars of the conflict, and citizens moved about, their faces marked by a mixture of relief and sorrow. At a makeshift recovery center, Jack stopped to speak with volunteers distributing food and medical supplies. He was approached by Maria, a local community leader. "Commander Turner, thank you for your efforts, but people are scared. They're asking what's to stop another attack. What do I tell them?" Jack sighed, the weight of leadership heavy on his shoulders. "Tell them we're doing everything to strengthen our defenses and our alliances. We won't let our guard down again." His next stop was a town hall meeting, hastily arranged to address the community's concerns. The hall was packed, the air thick with anxiety and anticipation. "Friends," Jack began, his voice steady despite the fatigue. "We've been tested like never before. But we stood our ground, thanks to the bravery of many and the support of our allies. However, the fight does not end here. We must be vigilant and prepared for any future threats." A hand shot up from the crowd, an elderly man standing. "Commander, will there be more support from the Galactic Assembly? How do we ensure they'll stand with us again?" Jack responded, "We are working closely with the Assembly to secure a more permanent support framework. We're not just survivors. We're active members of the galactic community now. Our voice matters." The meeting continued with questions about rebuilding efforts, the future of Earth's defenses, and the integration of alien technology in everyday life. Jack answered each query with the assurance of a leader committed to his planet's recovery and future security. After the meeting, Lisa approached Jack, her expression concerned. "Jack, you need to rest. You've been on your feet since we landed." "I will soon. There's just so much to do," Jack replied, though he knew she was right. In the following weeks, Jack worked tirelessly, mediating disputes among Earth's factions and shoring up alliances with other planets. He met with alien ambassadors, sharing plans for mutual defense and cooperation. As Earth's reconstruction progressed, Jack felt a cautious optimism. The rebuilding of the city mirrored the rebuilding of trust and confidence among its people. One evening, standing on the same rooftop, Jack looked out over the city, now lit by the restored power grid. The setting sun cast long shadows, but the light of reconstruction was undeniable. "Seeing all this," Lisa said, joining him, "it's hard to believe how far we've come." "It is," Jack agreed. "And it reminds us of what we're fighting for. Peace, safety, and a future where Earth can thrive both alone and within the galaxy." The journey ahead would be long, with many challenges, but Jack knew that Earth was not alone. With each new day, they were building not just buildings, but a legacy of resilience and unity. Several months had passed since the battle, and the rebuilt United Nations headquarters stood as a symbol of Earth's newfound strength and unity. Today it was bustling with delegates from across the planet and representatives from various galactic civilizations, all gathered for the inaugural session of the newly formed Earth Galactic Alliance Council. Jack Turner, now seen as a seasoned leader, walked through the halls with a calm demeanor. He was preparing to give the opening address, a speech that would set the tone for Earth's future in the galactic community. As he approached the podium, the room fell silent, all eyes on him. He looked out at the faces, human and alien, young and old, all united by a common purpose. "Ladies and gentlemen, representatives of the Galactic Assembly and citizens of Earth," Jack began, his voice clear and resonant. "Today marks a new chapter in our history. The past year has taught us much about resilience, about courage, and about the indomitable human spirit." He paused, allowing his words to resonate. "We faced destruction, but from that despair, we built hope. We learned that in unity there is strength, strength enough to overcome the darkest of times." Jack gestured to the representatives from various planets. "With our allies beside us, we not only defended our home, but also laid the groundwork for a partnership that extends beyond our solar system. The Earth Galactic Alliance Council represents that partnership, a forum for dialogue, mutual assistance, and shared prosperity." The audience listened intently as Jack outlined the Council's goals: to foster peace, advance technology sharing, and promote interstellar trade. He spoke of joint ventures in space exploration and environmental conservation, initiatives that would benefit all species involved. "As we stand here in this hall, let us remember the lessons of our past," Jack continued. "Let us forge a future where conflict is met with dialogue, where challenges are faced with collective action, and where diversity is celebrated as a source of strength." The speech was met with applause, a resounding affirmation of the shared desire for peace and progress. After the address, Jack mingled with the delegates, exchanging ideas, laughing, and planning for the future. Later, as the day drew to a close, Jack and Lisa stood looking out over the city from a balcony at the UN headquarters. The skyline was illuminated, the repaired structures shining under the night sky. "Did you ever think we'd get here?" Lisa asked, a hint of wonder in her voice. Jack shook his head, smiling. "Honestly, no. But I'm glad we did. It's not just about survival anymore. It's about thriving, about making a difference not just for Earth, but for the galaxy." Lisa nodded. "And to think, it all started with just trying to prove we could handle ourselves. Now look at us." Jack looked back at the buzzing conference room, then up at the stars. "We've got a long road ahead, Lisa, but for the first time, I feel like we're not walking it alone." As the night settled in, the lights of the city below mirrored the stars above. Earth was no longer isolated in the universe, but a pivotal member of a vast interstellar community. Jack's journey had changed him, and in turn, he had helped change the world. This new era was just the beginning.